When it has started.
Yes, sir, I have started recording.
Okay, guys, welcome to today's doubt solving session. We had a similar one last week, but unfortunately, we couldn't record it. Many people asked me to share this on YouTube, so today we are recording this doubt clearing session. Let it be of benefit to those who are unable to attend this session live. Sumit, you had a doubt. Go ahead.
Yes, I have doubt. Sir, in conference, we have an interview with the officers, right? So, in that, sir, if they ask you about the questions for regarding about the family backgrounds and the current affairs, if we do not know specific answer, then what to do in that officer situation?
If family background, though, you must be knowing your answers. It is your family he's asking about yourself. So those questions you need to answer. Current affairs, general knowledge, whatever other technical questions. If you don't know, you can honestly say, I'm not aware of this, sir, but I'll try to find it out. Or you can just say, I don't know, sir. Simple. No one is expecting you to be a master of everything. They just want a personality who is fit enough for the forces. So no need to know everything. But personal questions, you must be aware of how to answer because if you are not aware of yourself, then how
They
will
might,
they?
so they might be asked the qualities. Tell me about five good qualities and bad qualities. So we can tell the good qualities, but what about the bad qualities?
Everyone has bad qualities here. No one is perfect. So you must be aware of your weaknesses also as much as your strengths. Use these tools, these SWOT analysis and Johari window tools. I did some research on these and they are very helpful. If you use it properly, you'll get insights into your strengths, weaknesses, and everything else. So spend some time on self introspection. Look back at your life. Look at the experiences you have had. Look at the major incidents which have happened, the challenges you have faced, and how you have overcome them. All these things, like basically, just have a review of your life in your mind, and you will find out what your core strengths and weaknesses are. And you must be very well aware of them because only when you are aware of your weaknesses, you can start working upon them. That is how you are trainable. If you are not aware of yourself, if you have not accepted what weaknesses you have, then no one can train you.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I have question related VAT and SRT questions.
Yes.
So in VAT and SRT questions, probably in SRT questions, we have very limited time. So we have to just write keywords or we have to write the whole sentence.
No, yeah, there's nothing like very limited time. 10 to 15 seconds is a good enough time to write a meaningful sentence. So just writing a phrase or just writing a word is also okay, but not so desirable because 10 to 15 seconds is a good enough time. You can easily
Okay.
write a meaningful sentence. And even in SRT, you can write a good reaction considering the time given. It is 30 seconds for each SRT. That
Yes, sir.
is good enough time to react to a situation comprehensively. You can
Okay.
write multiple.
So what about VAT questions?
That is what I told. You need to write full sentences as much as possible. But if you are unable to manage the time, then you can go with phrases. Or if you
Okay.
are not able to do that, also you can write one word also. But that is not as desirable as writing a full sentence.
Yes, understood.
Sir,
And can I
I have
ask
one
also?
doubt regarding PPDT,
Yes.
sir.
Guys, all of you turn on your videos here, please. Whoever can. Yes. Who had this doubt regarding PPDT? Go ahead.
Sorry, Akshat.
Yes, yes, Akshat.
Sir, if there are many characters, if there are many people shown in the picture, so how can we fill the means box details? Should we
So
plot each and every
many
character there or
characters,
no?
as in usually there are one or two characters, or if let's say there are multiple characters, like let's say more than five, you don't need to go with all the details. You can write the details of only the prominent characters. Usually it is like that only. There is mostly one or two characters. Otherwise, if there are more, you can neglect all the background characters. Like let's say there's a crowd of people and one person is addressing them. You can take only the main person as your character, and you can neglect the big crowd. Like if there are like too many people which you cannot cover in your box. Otherwise, you can just write. You can. It takes hardly few seconds to write the age and mood of all the characters and whether it is male or female. That is easy to do provided, like, let's say you can keep the threshold as 5 to 6. If the characters is less than that, then mention all of them. Otherwise, just neglect the background characters and only write details of the main characters.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So,
So my
Sir, I
question
have
is
a
one
relating
by
to
one,
doubt regarding
one
interview.
by one, please. Nayan, go ahead.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding the interview. Sir, when we
Yes.
mix some questions in the rapid fire, what does it mean?
See, it is not rapid fire. This is not coffee with Karan or some quiz competition. These are comprehensive questions where they are asked in a sequence and you are expected to remember them and answer them in the same sequence. The logic behind it is when you ask a person one question, he has time to think about it and kind of manipulate his answer or give a impressive or desirable answer. But when a sequence of questions is asked and you are told to remember them, your brain is thinking about remembering the questions and you're not thinking about what kind of answers I should give or how I should fake it to impress the assessor. Your mind does not go that way. So that is the logic behind asking these questions in sequence so that you give out your true natural responses. It's okay even if you
Sir,
don't
is
remember a few questions. You can ask the interviewing officer after you answer all. Ki, if I have forgotten anything, please remind me, sir. He'll do that. That's not a problem. But your endeavor should be to remember all of them. It's easy. There are usually 8 to 10 questions. You can make a mind map. Like, let's say the questions are about your academic background. Usually the sequence goes like this: talk about your percentages from 10th to the latest educational level, which subjects you chose, why you chose them, what were the extracurricular activities and hobbies you are interested in, how was your relationship with friends and teachers, any significant achievements or any positions of responsibility you held, and how your education was financed, or one or two additional questions which the interviewing officer may be interested in. So you can just remember one word for each question. Like, let's say he asked about percentages, friends, teachers, hobbies, interests. It is easy to remember 8 to 10 words in your brain. Like, while he's asking questions, form these words in your mind and remember them. And while answering, take one word at a time and address that question. It may come with practice also, but I don't think it's required. It's a fairly simple exercise. You can do it on spot.
Sir, CIQ questions
sir,
and
in my
rapid
recent
fire.
SSB, okay, I have one more question, please, Praful.
Yes, yes.
Sir, in my recent SSB, the GTO asked us to focus on our mental stamina. Sir, what does it mean?
Mental stamina is your ability to go about continuing tasks which are mentally draining. Like, let's say you have an exam and you are studying for 12 hours, 14 hours, and you are still continuing, or anything which has mental rigor involved. You must be able to do it at length and not get tired or not give up, something like that. Like how physical stamina is related to your physical ability, mental stamina is equivalent of it for your brain. So you must be able to handle stressful situations and continue going about your job without giving up. So mostly that is mental stamina. It has different definitions, but this is what you need to know.
Like,
Sir,
sir, how do we
CIQ.
improve that?
One second. Nayan, finish off all your doubts.
Yeah, yes. Sir, how do we improve our mental stamina?
By doing things which improve it, like physical stamina. How do you improve? By pushing your body and trying those things. Mental stamina also increases the
Yes,
same
sir.
way. You need to get out of your comfort zone and keep doing things which tire your brain, and slowly that threshold will increase. Like, let's say now you are able to work for 2 hours continuously. If you keep doing it
Yes, sir.
again and again, slowly increase to 3, then to 4. The more you push your brain, the more it gets better. So keep doing that. You need to increase your threshold always, and it will never stop. It will keep improving during training, and after you become an officer, it will keep on improving. So that should be your endeavor to
Okay,
keep
sir.
on putting your brain through rigor so that it gets used to tackling these kind of situations, and slowly your level will improve.
Okay,
Next.
sir. Okay. Thank
Sir,
you. Thank you,
those
sir.
sir, those CIQ questions and rapid fire questions, they are the same thing.
Yes, some people call it rapid fire. Some people call it CIQs. It's the same. It is usually a sequence of questions, 8 to 10 questions usually, related to one year academic career journey. two, your current job profile, three, your family background, four, your hobbies and interests, and five, maybe general awareness and your strengths and weaknesses, something like that.
And
So
sir, as they are asked in a particular order, so we can answer them in any of the order, no? Like whichever comes first in our mind. Like first heading
you
telling.
may, but it is simple to actually answer it in the same sequence because the questions are asked in that manner. He first talks about your percentages, then about your teachers and friends. It is a strategic sequence. So it's better to go in the same sequence. And it is easy to go in the same sequence instead of going random because you may forget to do it that way.
Okay. And sir, like I was having my SSB of SSC Navy GSX. So
Okay.
sir, in that, like how much till how much extent we should have information about like Navy and like what like I have seen something about ships, frigates, and all those things. So at what till what extent we should get information about the Navy?
There is no specific extent or specific topics which you need to know. It is expected you to. One second. Please mute yourself here, Rohit, for some time. So Praful, the basic which is available on the internet, which any aspirant is supposed to know, the rank structure of the Navy, the basic tips we have, the aircraft carrier or what the command headquarters, anything here, the simple things about the Navy which any citizen should be knowing. And for an aspirant, it should be a little better because you are new to join the organization. It is better to know about it. Rohit, please mute yourself. Sir.
Okay, and sir, if the assessor asks me about like I have to join army, and if he asks me about this is your naval SSB, then why do you attended the Navy SSB as you want to join army? So in that simply can we answer like that because it was my Navy SSB, so I came here for giving the SSB or something better could be answered.
No, if you really want to join the army, then what are you doing there? Like, what is your honest reason for being there? You are giving a chance, right? Even if you get Navy, you are ready to join.
Yes, sir. Like I have to like.
So your answer should be something in that way only. Like, although I prefer to join the army, but the Navy is equally good, and given an opportunity, I'll be happily joining the Navy also. So everyone has their preferences. Like even I went only for my Air Force boards, and I ended up being in the army. So it happens. You can answer it honestly, like what exactly you are looking for, and it should not give an indication like you are really not interested in the Navy at all, and you are just there by force. So that if it comes, then clearly lack of motivation is one factor which can disqualify you. So make sure you answer it in a desirable manner and also be truthful at the same time.
Okay, sir. Last doubt is was the like sir in VAT I have attempted so like now till now I can write only 42 to 43 sentences from last 10 days I was practicing as my handwriting was very bad so from 35 to I went now 43 to 44 but sir to increase like I have tried one strategy is that at least when I don't click the sentences then I just write the word and after that when I get some time so I write the sentence on that. So sir like this any other strategy for improving the word counts in the VAT?
Yeah, ideally you must be attempting all 60. Even 59 is not a great performance. And when you are saying 35 to 45, it is seriously a bad performance, I would say. You cannot depend on coming back because all the tests are equally rigorous and you mostly will be not having time to come back and write those sentences. Your endeavor should be to improve your writing speed, write your responses quickly, and complete it off there itself. This you can do. You can write the word and come back to it, but that is not the ideal approach to it. You must be completing all 60 in the given time only. Write quickly, like write the first response. Like, what is happening in those 15 seconds? What are you doing? Are you wasting time in thinking about it, or are you not able to write quickly? What is happening?
No, sir. Actually, just that's the point that I'm not able to think them quickly. Like,
You must be. That needs to come. It comes by reading more, by having varied experiences, by getting used to these words. Like if you keep practicing, or if you are aware of all the common words used, ideas will come automatically. It will improve with practice. And you should not be wasting time in thinking. In WAT, ideally, like 2 or 3 seconds should be the time you must have thought about it, and you should start moving your pen. So don't waste time in thinking. It comes with practice. Keep practicing more, and you should come to a stage where you are able to attempt all 60 WATs.
And sir, like one problem is with me is that like my horrible handwriting, like it plays a major role. Like whether where I'll attempt the less words, cause in previous SSB that happened with me. Like my handwriting was really horrible. So due to that, I got screened out. I think cause actually everything went very well,
Mhm.
but I think my handwriting was really very horrible. Cause common story was also selected of me only, but then
Mhm.
also I got screened out. So I think my handwriting was really horrible at that time. So I am focusing. So sir, is does writing really plays that important role
See,
in
no one
psych?
is looking for beautiful handwriting or the best handwriting and all, but it should be legible. How will people understand your responses if it is not legible at all? No one is interested in the beauty of your handwriting or how well you have given it. Although presentation matters a little because that is how you ensure he is a good person who is organizing his paper well and presenting his ideas freely. Your handwriting does matter that way. Like the assessor should be able to read it, and he should not get irritated while reading. When he is having trouble to make out what you have written, then obviously that is not something which he desires. So make sure you don't do that. Your handwriting is something you can improve upon. Start writing. Like these days, we are more used to typing, and we have stopped writing, right?
Yes sir.
So
Yes sir.
most of us face this problem. So start writing. Practice all your tests and whatever other things you are doing on your laptop or your smartphone. Try to do some of them on paper. Just write, and during these practice sessions only you can actually keep writing, like in the PPDT sessions or in whatever other self preparation you are doing. Try to write, prepare notes on current affairs, prepare short notes on these GD and lecture topics. Basically, whatever you are doing to prepare for your SSB, do it on paper. It will improve your handwriting as well as your writing speed. That will help you in the other thing also. You told you are facing trouble in WAT, right?
Yes sir.
So that will also improve. So practice writing.
Okay sir. Okay sir. Thank you sir.
Sir,
One second, one
sir, I
second,
have a
wait.
doubt in.
One second. All of you mute yourself. Say hi. Rohit, turn on your video and unmute here, please. So talking about, he has cleared all the government exams you must have heard of, like NDA, CDS, AFCAT, SSC, CGL, whatever other exams you can think of. He has cleared them with a very high score. He can introduce himself to you. Rohit, please go ahead.
About what matlab, I should explain them regarding examinations. Okay, I have qualified CDS and AFCAT multiple times, especially okay, I'll be talking to you regarding only defense exams. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Guys, any written examination related doubts, please ask Rohit right now. Later, I'll be taking over and we'll
CDS
cover
and
all the
AFCAT.
related doubts.
Rohit, I have a class.
Yes.
Uh, I did not understand it. I have a doubt, sir.
I have a doubt also, sir.
Yes, one
Please
by
go
one.
ahead. What is So, about the plea and answer?
Okay, Rohit sir, I have a doubt that what should we do for the vocabulary in English in ND exam? Because sir, it is a main problem for me. Then from where I read the vocabulary?
I will suggest you join some Telegram group related to English. Matlab, there is a group named Hindu vocabulary. The Hindu vocabulary. So they will be posting 20 to 30 question daily, and you will get all the grammar. Matlab, you will also get the vocabulary along with that some minor grammar portion. So without studying anything, automatically you will go on revising, and you will learn a lot of words. Just revise them once before sleeping. Do the quiz in the morning, just for half an hour, 30 question or 20 question they will post. And you can join any of the Telegram group. So automatically you will go on learning
सर
vocab.
वन मोर डाउट इज देयर कि एनी मतलब जो PIQs होते हैं इंग्लिश में जो पहले एनडीए एग्जाम में आ चुके हैं तो उनको भी हम कर सकते हैं, वो रिपीट हो सकते हैं एग्जाम में?
हाँ, वो तो करना ही है यार। वो नहीं करोगे तो फिर बहुत टाइम लग जाएगा एग्जाम निकालने में। PYQ सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है। उसके
ओके
बाद ही आप इंग्लिश का भी वोकैब बहुत छोटा पार्ट है। अगर आप पहले PYQ कर लोगे ना तो आप पहले ही मतलब दूसरों से कंपटीशन में एज मिल जाती है आपको काफी ज्यादा। PYQ सबसे मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट है, फिर उसके बाद आप प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट करो ना, आपको एक डायरेक्शन मिल जाएगी पीवाईक्यू से, पढ़ना क्या है एक्चुअली, कितना कितना कैसे कैसे, फिर आप अपनी खुद की स्ट्रैटेजी बनाओगे और आप मतलब दूसरों से एज मिल जाएगा जल्दी, आपको डायरेक्शन जल्दी मिल जाएगी पीवाईक्यू करने से।
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
हाँ
हाँ
रोहित sir, I want to
Hey,
ask a
Rohit,
question.
I had a doubt.
हाँ, यस हाँ।
I have doubt regarding the GS portion in the CDS exam. How do we prepare for it? Is NCRT enough, or we have to get some other book for it also?
फॉर एनडीए एंड सीडीएस,
Only CDS,
only
PPDS part.
CDS. CDS I will say, see, NCRT you are going right track, मतलब 11th 12th की कर लो, ज़्यादा 6 to 10th मत जाओ, मतलब ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं वेस्ट करना आपको। क्वेश्चंस मतलब मेनली ना आप क्या करो ना, जीके में ही ज़्यादातर लोग फेल होते हैं, है ना। सीडीएस में जीके इज द टफेस्ट पार्ट, इंग्लिश एंड
Yeah.
मैथ मोस्ट ऑफ यू विल क्वालिफाई। सो फॉर जीके व्हाट यू डू ना, पीवाईक्यू सबसे पहले मैं क्या करता था, रोज का जब भी पढ़ने बैठूंगा, मतलब एक बार आप बेस कवर कर लो, मतलब आपको जो लगे, जैसे पॉलिटी में जो आपको लगे कि जरूरी है, थोड़ा जल्दी से, मतलब ज्यादा टाइम नहीं दो। जैसे आप पॉलिटी के लिए वो लूसेंट बुक आती है ना येलो कलर की, जीके की, तो उसको लेके आप उसमें से
Yes.
पॉलिटी और साइंस कवर कर लो, जल्दी जल्दी जितना जल्दी कर सकते हो, और ज्यादा पढ़ने में नहीं ध्यान देना। आपको क्या करना है ना, जीके की कट ऑफ बहुत कम रहती है सीडीएस की, समझे। वो दे विल टेक many people, मतलब they will take around 7,000 people, because they know they will be rejecting many and they will be selecting very few candidates finally in the merit list. If you see ना, in CDS exam 100 vacancies आती है आईएमए की, वो भी फुल नहीं होती, कभी कभी 50% लोग ही भरते हैं। तो ये आपको क्या करना है, क्वालिफाइंग इज योर मेन टारगेट स्पेशली इन जीके। तो उसके लिए पहले सबसे जल्दी से बेसिक्स कवर कर लो, ज्यादा टाइम मत दो। मतलब आप सीएससी की प्रिपरेशन नहीं कर रहे कि आपको एक एक नंबर पे सिलेक्शन रिजेक्शन हो जाएगा एक एक क्वेश्चन पे। तो आपको फिर डेली क्या करो ना, पीवाईक्यू लो, उसमें मतलब आप गेस्ट वर्क अपना चेक करते रहो। जैसी पोर्शन जल्दी से कवर कर लिया आपने, मतलब बेसिक कुछ भी जो आपको लगे कि हाँ ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, कवर करके फिर जैसे ही आप पीवाईक्यू मारते हो ना, तो उसमें फिर आपको देखना, आप बैठ के मतलब पूरा पेपर अटेम्प्ट करो। जैसे आपने पीवाईक्यू उठाया, आपने विद इन दैट टाइम लिमिट पूरा पेपर अटेम्प्ट किया, आप अपनी 50% एक्यूरेसी भी रहेगी ना, फिर भी आप देखोगे आप 30 से ज्यादा मार्क्स लाओगे, मतलब जो भी क्वालिफाइंग मार्क्स है।
पूरा
आई थिंक
पेपर एज इन
20% हो,
जो टॉपिक वो पढ़े वो वाला करना है।
वो नहीं, आप गेस वर्क अपना जो, हाँ मतलब जो पढ़ा है वो भी, और कभी कभी थोड़ा मतलब एजुकेटेड गेस, मतलब कैलकुलेटेड गेस जो नहीं भी आता है ना, उसमें भी ट्राई कि मतलब आप देखो
ओके।
आपकी एक्यूरेसी इसमें यही है कि 50% एक्यूरेसी भी रहेगी ना, तो आप जीके का कट ऑफ क्लियर कर लोगे बहुत अच्छे से, आराम से। लेकिन अगर आप पढ़ते रहोगे तो आपकी एक्यूरेसी बढ़ेगी और फिर आपका चांसेस और अच्छा होगा। तो वही बोल रहा हूँ, मतलब एक बार वो कॉन्फिडेंस लेके आ जाओ एग्जाम हॉल में ना। कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आता कि सारे क्वेश्चन मार दो, ऐसा रहता है। बट ऐसा मैंने देखा है, मतलब मेरे एक्सपीरियंस से, मैं फुल अटेम्प्ट करके आता था, फिर भी मेरा मतलब प्लस माइनस होके फाइनली मैं आराम से कट ऑफ अच्छे से क्लियर कर लेता था। तो मेन जीके में आपको फेल करना है, बाकी दोनों तो सब अच्छा कर लेते हैं, इंग्लिश भी सबका अच्छा जाता है, मैथ भी। तो हाँ बस वही है।
मैथ तो इजी है।
सर एनडीए के
हाँ
जीके जो एनडीए के जी का पोर्शन है उसके लिए वो पॉलिटी और इकोनॉमिक्स मतलब इतने मेन है या नहीं, क्योंकि उनसे क्वेश्चन पीवाईक्यू में बहुत कम क्वेश्चन आते हैं उनसे पॉलिटिकल और इकोनॉमिक्स से।
पॉलिटी तुम लक्ष्य, ये जो लूसेंट बुक बोली है ना, उसकी मेरे को बहुत अच्छी लगी, मतलब बहुत शॉर्ट में बहुत ज्यादा कवर कर देता है वो। और वो मतलब ऐसा लगता है पुराने पेपरों से ही बनी है वो बुक उठा के, तो उससे पॉलिटी पढ़ लो। पॉलिटी जरूरी लगता है, इकोनॉमिक्स थोड़ा टफ हो जाता है, मतलब उसके लिए आप मतलब काफी ज्यादा पढ़ोगे और फिर भी थोड़ा डाउट टाइप रह जाता है। मतलब मैं भी उतना सारे क्वेश्चन नहीं कर पाता था। पॉलिटी अच्छे से पढ़ लो, पॉलिटी मतलब काफी आप कंट्रोल कर सकते हो और अच्छा है।
तो सर जीके मतलब
इकोनॉमिक्स
एनडीए के लिए जो जीके है उसके लिए लूसेंट की बुक ठीक रहेगी?
हाँ, लूसेंट की बुक तो हाँ सभी पढ़ते हैं, अच्छी रहेगी।
Sir, I had a
Sir,
doubt
what is
regarding
about the
CDS.
NCC special entry, sir,
हाँ,
for the CDS? What is about the NCC special entry, sir? Those
एनसीसी वो तो
cadets who
एसएसबी
have
उसमें
some
रिटर्न
C
क्या
certificate, sir,
है।
any benefit for CDS, sir?
Rohit, I want to ask something about the academics. Not academics actually. मतलब ये जो अपना एसएससी का नॉन-टेक वाला पोर्शन होता है, तो ये सीडीएस के साइंस पोर्शन के लिए इनफ होता है।
किस चीज का पोर्शन बोल रहे हो?
जो अपना सीडीएस में आता है जीके में, पर्टिकुलरली साइंस वाला पोर्शन जो आता है, फिजिक्स
हाँ हाँ
केमिस्ट्री,
हाँ
तो इसमें जो एसएससी में नॉन टेक पढ़ाते हैं वो मतलब नॉन टेक में साइंस वाला पोर्शन सीडीएस के साइंस वाले पोर्शन पे मतलब मैच होता है या फिर दोनों की अप्रोच अलग है?
यार अभी मैंने वो वाला एग्जाम तो उतना टारगेट नहीं किया है, मतलब एसएससी लूसेंट से पढ़ लो, वो जो येलो कलर की बुक है ना, आज साइंस वही रहता है यार, क्वेश्चन वही ज्यादा वेरी नहीं करता, मतलब एक बार आप बेसिक करने लग गए ना, लूसेंट से कर लो साइंस, मैं तो बोलूंगा उसमें भी बहुत अच्छा, मतलब पूरे पीवाईक्यू के एक पूरा ऐसा लगता है ना, वो बुक में पूरा कंपाइल करके रखा है शॉर्ट में बहुत सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन, तो उसको बार बार कर लो, साइंस उसी से हो जाएगा बहुत अच्छा।
कैसे करना है
रोहित भैया, हाय रोहित भैया।
हाँ
मैं पूछ रहा हूँ जैसे 3 सितंबर को सीडीएस का है ना, तो कब तक कोर्स खत्म करे और कब से पीवाईक्यू लगाना चालू करे?
अरे मैं तो बोलूंगा भाई देख, जितना भी कर लिया ना, अल्टीमेटली तेरे एग्जाम हॉल में कॉन्फिडेंस होना चाहिए, तो उसके लिए वही बोल रहा हूँ, आप अपने घर पे 120 क्वेश्चन सारे अटेम्प्ट करके देखो, और जो कट ऑफ है ना पिछले साल की जीके की, आप देखो कि कितने नंबर बन रहे हैं, भले ही गलत सही कुछ भी हो, 50% एक्यूरेसी से मैं तो बोलूंगा 2-3 घंटे, मतलब अभी से ही अगर हो सके तो जितना जल्दी कर सकते हो, नहीं तो क्वेश्चन खत्म होने का वेट मत करो, एक बार वो कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया ना, तो आप फिर खुद ही आप मतलब वो मॉक दोगे आप अपने घर पे पीवाई पे, आपको देखेगा कि आपके नंबर अच्छे आ रहे हैं, और ऐसे अगर 2-3 बार आप मतलब जैसे 10-20 बार पेपर दे दिया, हर बार अच्छे आ रहे हैं, तो आप वहां भी जाके वही कर दोगे, और फिर आपका जीके आप क्लियर कर लोगे, बाकी दोनों तो ऑलमोस्ट सभी के अच्छे हो जाते हैं। कॉन्फिडेंस आना है मेन, कि आप कैसे ना कैसे वहाँ, क्योंकि सब लोग गेस्ट वर्क डरते हैं सब लोग मारने से, मतलब इसमें क्या है ना, कट ऑफ बहुत कम मार्क्स है, तो आप वही होगा, अपने घर पे एक बार करके देखो ना, आपको कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा कि कितने क्वेश्चन करूं, अगर 120 भी नहीं मार रहे, कम से कम मान लो 100 क्वेश्चन मार रहे हो, तो भी आपको कॉन्फिडेंस तो आएगा कि हाँ इसमें मेरी एक्यूरेसी 50, जैसे 50 सही हो रहे 50 गलत, फिर भी आपके कट ऑफ क्लियर हो रहा है ना, मेन आपका वो है, बाकी दोनों जगह आप एकदम मतलब पुश ले लो, इंग्लिश तो अच्छा कर सकते हो आप, जीके मैथ तो बहुत अच्छा कर सकते हो, प्रैक्टिस है, तो जीके का वही है, मतलब क्वेश्चन ज्यादा अटेम्प्ट करो, मैं तो बोलूंगा कम मत करके आना, और वो आपको पता चलेगा मॉक दे देगी कि कितने पे आपका मतलब कट ऑफ क्लियर हो रहा है, एक्यूरेसी 50% रखो लेकिन अटेम्प्ट ज्यादा करो।
भैया टेक्स्ट बुक का पास में ले लूँ क्या? टेक्स्ट बुक का जो मॉक है वो सही है?
जीके में तो यार मैं तो बोलूंगा, मतलब सीडीएस का ना, सीडीएस और एग्जाम की तरह नहीं होता, मतलब इसमें यूपीएससी का आपको कोई भरोसा नहीं कि मतलब प्रैक्टिस से ही पीवाईक्यू करो बेस्ट है, अगर उसमें पीवाईक्यू है तो ले लो, मतलब पीवाईक्यू आपको प्रैक्टिस करने को दे रहा है तो अच्छा है, फिर पीवाईक्यू मिलना चाहिए तो ले लो फिर।
Sir, what
ठीक है
is
भैया,
about
थैंक
the
यू।
NCC special entry, sir?
Hey Karan, hold on here. Ask only about written exam. You take your
Sir,
doubts to them. Anticipation entry is not up for discussion.
sir, I had a doubt regarding CDS general knowledge section. Like, are all topics important? As you said, like economics, अगर हम करते हैं, like questions कम आते हैं, मतलब relatively. So, all
हाँ
topics should we give importance, or we should cover like polity or history if possible?
सी मतलब मेरा क्या था, मैं मेरे को ज्यादा पढ़ना अच्छा नहीं लगता था, तो मेरा वही था कि पॉलिटी अच्छी कर ली और साइंस उससे, इकोनॉमी मेरे को ऐसा लगता था कुछ भी पढ़ो मतलब पूछते अलग सा ही है कुछ, मतलब पढ़ लेनी पड़ती थी वहां जाके एग्जाम में, तो उसका मेरे में मतलब बेनिफिट उतना लगता नहीं था, तो मैंने वही बोला ना, मैं चुपचाप क्या करूंगा, मैं एक टाइम के बाद पीवाईक्यू उठा के सारे क्वेश्चन ही अटेम्प्ट करने लग गया रोज रोज, तो मैं देख रहा था हर बार मेरी 50% एक्यूरेसी रह रही है, फिर भी मेरा कट ऑफ पे आराम से अच्छा जा रहा है, तो मैं फिर मेरे को पता चल गया कि इकोनॉमी मेरे बस का, मतलब उसमें बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ना पड़ता है यार, उतना कॉन्सेप्ट अभी एग्जाम निकालना है ना यार, मतलब आपको ऐसा रहना चाहिए जाने के पहले पता हो कि हाँ मेरा जीके का तो निकल रहा है ऐसा, तो उसके लिए, और आजकल तो थोड़ा सा और टफ कर रही है यूपीएससी वैसे, मतलब अभी मैं तो बोलूंगा मतलब क्योंकि देख रहे हो कैसा ऑप्शंस आ रहे हैं कि ओनली वन ऑफ द अबाउ इज ट्रू, ओनली टू ऑफ द अबाउ इज ट्रू, तो उसके लिए
प्रीलिम्स के
मतलब
लेवल की जीके आ रही है।
हाँ मतलब काफी टफ कर रहे हैं, तो उसमें गेस्ट वर्क भी थोड़ा टफ होगा, बट आप क्या करो ना, 2-3 सब्जेक्ट बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग कर लो अपने, और थोड़ा सा फिर थोड़ा मतलब रिस्क भी लेना पड़ेगा, और इसमें एक्चुअली क्या है ना, सीडीएस में मैंने बोला ना ज्यादा लोगों को लेते हैं तो कट ऑफ थोड़ी नीचे जाती है, तो उसमें आपको क्या है मतलब काफी ओपन हैंड देके रखा है कि आप 50% एक्यूरेसी से भी ज्यादा क्वेश्चन करते हो ना, अगर आपके प्लस में मिल गए तो बेनिफिट होगा, मतलब कुछ सब्जेक्ट्स आप ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग कर लो, इकोनॉमी आप अगर आपको लग रहा है कि उतना नहीं है तो छोड़ सकते हो 1-2 सब्जेक्ट,
Okay, sir.
बाकी
Thank you.
Yeah, which is the best for the end
Sir, I
exam?
want to ask
Math.
you,
हाँ
Rohit, yeah,
हाँ
I want
mathematics
to
के लिए
ask,
best Yeah, NDA जुड़े.
I'm not getting the question. क्या पूछा मतलब?
So I want to ask what coming from a
PPDT
commerce background, what should I be preparing for NDA?
For NDA मतलब what should you prepare for NDA?
Like how, in matter how should I prepare for NDA?
How should I just like every other candidate और कैसे मतलब जीके पढ़ लो साइंस साइंस तुम वही लूसेंट उठाओ साइंस एंड पॉलिटी पढ़ लो हिस्ट्री भी पढ़ सकते हो उससे हिस्ट्री भी अच्छी है उसमें इकोनॉमी मेरे को उतना उसमें समझ नहीं आया था मतलब ऐसा लगता है अजीब सा ही पूछते हैं उसमें कुछ कुछ लिखा है बट उतना रिलेवेंट नहीं है पीडीएस से ये 3 सब्जेक्ट पढ़ लो लूसेंट से पढ़ लो और वही जो नॉर्मल स्ट्रैटेजी है सबके लिए पीवाईक्यू कर लो
Which book is
पीवाईक्यू
best
कर लो
for
सब समझ
NDA?
आ जाएगा
Which book
पीवाईक्यू
is
इज द
best
मोस्ट
for NDA?
इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर एनडीए व्हाट
Mathematics.
Manish, go ahead.
भैया आपके एफकेट में, हेलो भैया,
हाँ बोलो
अभी आपके एफकेट में 228 थे, तो जैसे अगर ग्राउंड ड्यूटी के लिए 200 प्लस मार्क्स आना कंफर्म मतलब वो नेसेसरी है क्यों?
नेसेसरी का तो पता नहीं यार मतलब आप तो मार्क्स अभी मतलब इतना मत सोचो ना यार अभी तो आपको रिकमेंड भी होना है आप पहले वैसे भी आप बस पढ़ाई करो ना जो आएगा फिर उसके बाद आपको जो मिलना है वो तो लग जाएगी उतना सोचने का फायदा नहीं ना अभी तो रिकमेंड भी होना है फिर आप लेके आओ जितना अच्छा ला सकते हो
Which book is best for NDA mathematics भैया?
विच बुक
NDA
बुक
mathematics.
बुक वो आर्यन की पीवाईक्यू ले लो और प्रीवियस ईयर पेपर में जो भी मैथ्स है ना चैप्टर वाइज वो कर लो वो बेस्ट है
बट
क्योंकि
सर
वो रिलेवेंट है
अब आई बिलीव कि अब जो मैथ का जैसे पैटर्न चेंज हो रहा है पीवाई क्यू इनफ नहीं होंगे उस वास्ते उसके लिए आई आई बिलीव कि जेई के पीवाई क्यू थोड़े छोटे कम लेवल के जेई के पीवाई क्यू भी करने की जरूरत है क्योंकि अप्रोच कर रहा है आईआईटी जेई मतलब जेई मेंस को अप्रोच कर रहा है अब एनडीए मैथ्स जो मैंने देखा है क्योंकि एनडीए 2023 का पेपर में बहुत सारे ऐसे क्वेश्चन है जिनसे आईआईटी मेंस से पहले पूछे हुए हैं
अरे
भाई
पता नहीं
भाई
यार
कट भी तो लो गई थी भाई 20%.
तो यार देखो अभी मैं काफी साल हो गए मतलब मैं सीडीएस की भी मेरा मतलब काफी एग्जाम हो गए मेरे सीडीएस की भी एज निकल गई तो मेरे को आइडिया नहीं है अभी ट्रेंड का मैं तो पीवाई क्यू देखता था आपको जो सही लगे फिर वही करो
भैया मैथ के लिए स्ट्रेटजी क्या रखनी है इंडिया के लिए?
एनडीए के लिए मैथ के लिए आप अब ये जो मतलब पीवाईक्यू देखो जिस हिसाब से ट्रेंड हो रहा है ना जो ट्रेंड है वो उस हिसाब से बुक्स फॉलो करो मैं तो बोलूंगा वही पीवाईक्यू इज द बेस्ट सोर्स मतलब आपको पता चलता रहेगा क्या चल रहा है क्या किस तरीके से पढ़ना है और फिर उस हिसाब से जो सही लगे कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़ लो
Alright guys, hold on. जो भी आपके रिटर्न एग्जाम रिलेटेड डाउट्स है वो आप टेलीग्राम ग्रुप पे पूछना. I'll email messaging for all of you. उसमें he'll be answering your other questions. Now let's get back to SSB discussion.
सर आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड टू पीआईक्यू फॉर्म
Okay.
सर लाइक जैसे मतलब कि व्हाट टू फुलफिल इन मतलब कि जो स्पोर्ट्स सेक्शन होता है मान लो कोई बच्चा है उसने जूनियर लेवल पे कोई स्पोर्ट्स खेल लिया जाए लाइक कराटे खेल रहे हैं उसने स्केटिंग किया है या बॉक्सिंग किया है मतलब कि एट्थ या नाइन्थ के लेवल पे तो शुड आई मेंशन दैट और नॉट
Yes, whatever games or sports you have played at any level, be it if you have played with your neighbors also, you can mention it. But
बट व्हाट इफ मतलब कि बहुत ज्यादा उसमें टेक्निकली गए नहीं कभी मतलब कंपटीशन नहीं खेला फिर भी उसको
not required. Not required. Any games which you have played with your friends, you can mention that also. I did the
बट
same. I have never taken part in any competition level, like school level पे खेला था and inter school I had represented my school only. But I had mentioned all the other games also which I had never taken part in competitive level. I used to play cricket with neighbors, तो वो भी mention किया मैंने. Whatever you feel is worth mentioning, you can put it. No issues.
like sir I have played skating at मतलब कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल कराटे at district level बॉक्सिंग मतलब ये बॉक्सिंग कभी कंपटीशन नहीं खेला, बट बॉक्सिंग में फिटनेस के लिए खेल रहा हूँ.
हाँ तो मेंशन ऑल ऑफ देम.
Okay, but we should have elementary knowledge of all the games, है ना sir?
Not necessary. Like if you have played it at a competitive level, if you are claiming that you have participated at some level, then obviously you need to know technical details about it.
Like
But
at
if you mention
district
your,
district at
don't
district
interrupt while I'm
level,
talking
it is
there.
necessary.
Listen to me first, then you talk.
Okay, sir.
If you have played at any level, then obviously you must have known the rules. You should have
Yes.
known the technical details. So you must be aware of them. If not, if you have played at a casual level or inter housing it inside your school, then you don't need to know technical stuff. No one is interested in those details also. They just want to know whether you have led an active life, whether you have taken part in these outdoor activities. That has an impact on your personality. That is why they want. No one is interested
And
in your national or international achievements.
like sir, जो outstanding achievements in part, can you mention that I have been a sports captain of junior wing
Yes,
in at in school?
yes.
Okay, sir.
Please mute yourself. Next.
Sir, how we tackle
Giant, sir.
WT, SRT, and TET?
What was your question? Ask again.
How we will tackle the WAT and SRT and TET tests in psych test?
Today I have put a post on Instagram. I have explained everything you need to know about TAT. Just go through it. I have mentioned what the test is, what you need to do, and how you need to attempt it in the test, and some tips or strategies for performing better. So follow that, and I'll be putting these posts every day. Tomorrow I'll put a post on WAT. This will continue for around 10 to 12 days. I'll cover all the tests, psychological tests, GTO, and interview. So go through all the posts. You comment your doubts over there, and I'll reply one by one there.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Next.
I have one question.
Yes.
Sir, those candidates who are appearing in the direct entry and not going through written entry. So how to tackle that question that when the IO is like, asking from us why you have not appeared in the written entry and have not cleared the any CDS or AFCAT exam and coming for direct entry. So because SSB is the equal for written or direct entry. So how to justify this question answer in the interview session?
No, there should have been some reason why you haven't attempted written exams, right? Some people attempt it and they are unable to clear, or some people are not aware of those tests at all. There are different reasons. So, what is your real reason for not going through those entries? You can say that frankly. If you are unable to clear those written exams, that's all right. There are people who get recommended with very less percentages also. In my course, I had a guy who had taken 6 years to complete his engineering. He had never cleared his CDS, AFCAT, anything, but he came through TGC entry. So imagine the performance he must have given. So no one is interested in your written exam ka scores. That is why in the, don't interrupt me, guys. When I am talking, please keep yourselves muted and
Sorry, sir. Sorry. Sorry, sir.
okay. I hope I have cleared your doubt here. Whoever asked
Giant,
about
sir, I
the
have one question.
yes,
Yes, sir, I have a question regarding stage one.
yes.
Sir, in a repeaters batch, how to get ahead of everyone, sir, in PPDT, narrating, and GD and all? How to get ahead of everyone?
There is no going ahead of anyone. That is the attitude problem. If you are thinking of going ahead of everyone and showing your performance, then that is not a desirable attitude. You must be making an endeavor to take everyone along and drive the group towards a common consensus. You outperforming others will not help you. You helping others and making the group perform as a whole, that will help you. So your OR should be killer first thing. In your PPDT, you should have written a very good, relevant story after perceiving the picture very well. You should have presented it well and followed all the rules for your written part. Till then, half of your battle is won. Coming to your individual narration, you should have been confident enough. You should have covered your story in the given time, and your English communication should be acceptable, like fair enough or good level types. And coming to the group discussion, you should not be thinking of going ahead of people. That is where this fish market situation comes. Everyone thinks of it as a competition. It is not a competition. You need to make an endeavor to take the group along. try to control the group, and give your points when there is silence, and drive the group towards a common story. That should be your endeavor. There's no going ahead of anyone.
So I
Okay,
want
thank you,
to
sir.
ask a question about PIT.
Guys, all of you turn on your videos here. Why am I not able to see any one of you?
Sir,
All of you turn on your videos.
sir, I want to
Mute yourself, but keep your videos on.
sir, I want to ask something related to sir, psychological
Yes.
testing. Sir, there is one thing that always puzzles me is that some assessors say that in picture if there is a female, then we and if we are a male candidate, then we need to make a story around a male candidate, and if it does not match with our gender, then we have to make the story around our age gender. So, what is your take on that, sir?
See, it is not necessary that you should take a character of the same age and sex as you. The logic behind it is when you take a character which is closely resembling your own attributes, that is your age, your background, whether rural or urban, your gender, everything like your demographic details basically. When you do that, you are projecting your own personality or your own character traits through that imaginary character you have chosen. That is the logic behind it, but that is not necessary. Like let's say there is only one female character in your picture, you don't need to introduce a male character of your age and sex and then try to make him the hero. Not required. You can project your qualities through a female character also. You need to write about yourself, putting yourself in the shoes of that female character, and that is not a mistake at all.
And sir,
And sir, how to while PPDT in story, the how to write the number of characters in that box when there are more than four characters.
I have
How
already
can we
answered this question.
determine it?
Next.
sir, also there is one thing that we need to import a character if we see something negative being done, or if we see any other person which is not related to our gender, sir, or if there is no character in the image.
Not
So is it
if
okay?
there is no character in the image, then yes, it is obvious that you need to introduce someone from outside. But usually in TIT or in PPDT, there is no such picture where a character is not shown. It is very rare that you will get such a picture. If that happens, then yes. Otherwise, as much as possible, try not to introduce any characters from outside, because one character is good enough to make a proper story, and usually one character is always there, be it female, male, be it young, old, anything. One character through which you can relate to some personality traits of yourself. You need to put those qualities into a story, not put those qualities basically, write a story around it, and your qualities will automatically emerge when you relate that character to yourself. You can relate to any character here. Let's say there is some old person who is working in some field. You can relate to that person also. You have done something in your life outside where you have worked hard and achieved something, so you can put yourself in that character's shoes and build a story around that. So it is not necessary that you can relate only to some person of the same age and sex as you. Although that is more easy to do, you can relate to a person of the same demographic characters as you, but that is not a rule. You can do it with any character.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So I have doubt.
Sir,
Yes, yes,
just
Sumit.
just a second, friend. Sir, if there is no any character, we can take from outside.
Yes, that's
But
what I just told.
then what will be the mood of that character? Positive, negative, or neutral?
Depending on your story, like let's say you're writing a story in which the hero is tackling some grave crisis, then his mood is usually negative when it starts off. Then whatever he does, that decides his mood. Depends on your story, like whether you're writing a cheerful happy story or you're writing a sad story. Depends on what you're writing, that will decide the mood. And obviously write the mood of the character when it is not in the picture, because in that box you'll not be mentioning anything, so your mood is irrelevant. You don't need to mention it at all. You just need to write the story.
Sir, is
Now,
the mood only
question.
One by one, please.
Sir, one doubt was there. Like, sir, if in the GD, like while discussing the story, so sir, if suppose our story is totally different from the group, but sir, we have some supporting points. So, sir, but nobody is listening. So, should we go with the group and support other story, or we should give some more evidences to support our story?
If no one is listening to you, if most of them are against your idea, then it is better not to convince them, because you need to be going with the majority yourself. There is lack of time, and you are not that great ki you can convince everyone, and everyone will accept your story, because everyone has different perceptions, and usually majority wins in PPDT. In other discussions, like let's say in the stage 2 group discussion, there you can use your logic, you can try to convince them, because there it's a different game. Here in PPDT, time is limited, everyone has different perceptions, and everyone is correct in their own mind. So you can't convince them. This is an ambiguous situation. GD is a proper stimulus where there is a topic given and clear views are there. So there you can try to convince with your logical points. But PPDT, there's no logic. Everyone's logic is different and everyone is correct. So you can't argue and try to convince them. Just go with the majority, give your points, and agree to the group mostly.
सर
Sir,
सर जैसे कि
सर
सर
इन
जैसे कि
लेक्चर
हम
एट
लोग ये बोल सकते हैं ना सर कि
one second. Samar,
सर हम लोग ऐसे तो बोल
one
सकते हैं
second.
ना
Hold,
जीडी में
hold. Samarjit, mute yourself here. Done.
सर
Okay. All of you
सर
mute yourself one by one. Praful,
यस सर
doubt appeared.
सर एक डाउट और था बस वन डाउट मोर
Ask fast.
sir in lecture it like we are having some like as we get a topic so we make some bullet points and on that we proceed so sir is somehow like we have given more emphasis on the entry point like in our introduction and all those middle points but somehow our conclusion was like bad and it was a tragic like कैसे भी जल्दी में कर दिया बस खत्म so in a hurry so sir that makes a bad impact that is unorganized manner or something like that.
Definitely, because in PPDT you hardly get 40 to 50 seconds to narrate your story, and in the repeaters batch it reduces even more, like maybe 25 to 30 seconds, or sometimes even lesser. We never know. So your endeavor should be not to introduce the characters, tell their mood, all that for an
No sir
extended
I'm
time.
asking about lecture 8 sir lecture 8.
Okay, lecture it. How do you not organize it in 3 minutes? Here, it's a good enough time to start off, make a proper body and a conclusion. Like, how will you end it in a hurry? Lecture it is a open discussion. It is not a story where you need to conclude it. It is free flow of your thoughts and how you have organized it while you are preparing for those 3 minutes. You can't do that in the SSB. You need to prepare it well. Guys, I'm telling you, all of you mute yourself.
Sir, can we prepare only the relation between India and
But
foreign
one thing,
countries for
wait,
lecture?
hold on. All of you mute yourself. I'll call out names. Whoever has doubts, raise your hands. There's an option to click on raise hand. Do that, and I'll call names. Only that person will unmute yourself and talk to me. Rest, everyone, keep yourself on mute all the time. Tejas, Tejas, go ahead. Okay. Siddharth Sangwan.
Yes, sir. Sir, I had a doubt regarding the sir self-description test.
Mm-hmm.
So, whenever we describe the view of our parents and the view of our teachers and ourselves, so sir, what I think is there must be some similarities between the qualities that we share on different people's perspective on ourselves. सर
Hmm.
शुड देयर बी या फिर सर ऐसा हो सकता है कि मतलब सर फॉर एग्जांपल सर आई एम हेल्पफुल एंड आई नो दैट एंड माय पेरेंट्स नो दैट सो मतलब सर ऐसे तीनों साइड से सेम क्वालिटीज तो हो सकती है ना ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि सामने से ये इम्पैक्ट जाए कि बंदा मतलब जबरदस्ती बनाए कुछ कर रहा है कि हेल्पफुल है हर साइड से
No, no, understood. See, you prepare a list of all your qualities collected from everyone, parents, friends, teachers, employers, jitne bhi hai. Make an extensive list and then remove all the redundant qualities of yours. Like, let's say you are saying you are helpful. Who thinks the most that you are helpful? Like, are you helping your friends the most, or your teachers the most, or your family the most? So depending on that, whoever has that impression that you are the most helpful person, something of that, whoever has that strong opinion on you, mention that particular quality in that paragraph. Like, let's say your parents think that you are a helpful person, and although your friends and teachers also think that, the level intensity of their thinking is not that much. Like, your parents think it very strongly that you are a very helpful person. Then include it in your parents paragraph. Similarly, all the qualities which are common in two, three of the people, like parents, friends, teachers, etc., include it in the strongest area and remove all the common points. Like you can talk so much about yourself, and five paragraphs are mostly not enough. So you cannot include the same adjectives or same qualities in multiple paragraphs and get it done with. You can emphasize on few qualities by including it in one or two places repetitively, but even that is not required. Each word speaks about you, and your endeavor should be to speak as much as possible about yourself. So make sure you're not repeating any qualities anywhere. And there's a strategy to do this. Mostly your parents will be thinking about your responsible nature or the career outlook you have, things like that. Your friends will be mostly interested in your social qualities, like how helpful you are, how jovial you are, these kind of things. And your teachers would have been more interested in your intelligence, your participation in activities, your academic achievements, these kind of things. Your employers are mostly interested in your sincerity, the deadlines you follow, those kind of things. Like people are interested in certain side of your personality. So that is where they have an impression on you. So include those kind of qualities in those particular paragraphs and prepare it well. SD is not something spontaneous, right? You can prepare it beforehand. So get it checked by someone. You can give it to me. I'll tell you some improvements, and you can prepare a good SD before appearing for your SSB.
Thank you, sir. You got it and cleared very well, sir. Thank you, sir.
Cool. You're welcome. Next, Samarjeet.
Sir, I had a question. Yesterday, I well, you lecture. Can we have a role model of a fictional character?
If let's say your role model is the topic, then a fictional character is usually not a role model. Like, what can you learn from a character which is someone's imagination? Like, you tell me what is your role model? Which fictional character are you talking about?
Like, sir, yesterday my topic in my lecture I described about Naruto Uzumaki, an anime character.
How can that be your role model? You want to follow that imaginary character? There is at least one person in your life who you look up to, who you can call as a role model. And this is a silly question. You can't have a imaginary character or a fictional character as a role model. By definition, it's not a role model.
But sir, according to me, that I have learned many things from him, like about believing in
Okay,
your
so
goal.
understood. You haven't learned anything from any real life character, or you
I
cannot say
learned,
that is your role
sir,
model.
but sir, that's the like I watched the full anime that so I'm connected more to that.
So here, this
That's
is a silly question. Seriously, like if you are interested in it, if you are a fan of it, watch it again and again. But how can you say that is the character which has inspired me or something? You can't call it a role model. You can say it has taught me many things and all, but this is silly here. Don't ask these kind of stupid questions. Seriously, I've answered you, and that is what it is. Include a real life character in it.
okay, sir.
Done. Akashdeep.
यस सर सर
Yes.
आई हैव टू क्वेश्चन सर फर्स्ट वन सर इज जैसे कि आपने बोला कि सर जीडी में अगर सबका व्यूज पॉइंट अलग अलग है तो वहाँ पे कन्विंस करने का कोई मतलब फायदा है नहीं क्योंकि कोई सुनेगा नहीं रिपीटर ग्रुप में या कोई भी ग्रुप में तो सर मैं ये कहता हूँ सर कि जैसे कि हम लोग अपना परसेप्शन तो बता सकते हैं ना कि पिक्चर में मैंने ये परसीव किया तो जेंटलमैन हमें इस पिक्चर पे ये थीम बनाना चाहिए अपना लॉजिक तो दे सकते हैं ना कि हमने ये थीम क्यों चूज किया एट दैट टाइम बाकी वो ले या ना ले वो तो हमारा हैंड में है नहीं ना
So that is what you can do here. Like before you start the discussion itself, everyone has given their individual narration. So you can pick a common theme which most of them have chosen. Like everyone's perception is different, but some similarity will be there. Like pictures are not so vague that everyone will write something. एक बंदे ने क्रिकेट के बारे में लिख दिया, दूसरे बंदे स्विमिंग और तीसरा बंदा कोई फायर फाइट, ऐसे तो नहीं होगा. There will be some resemblance. Like everyone is talking about some running activity or some outdoor activity or anything like that. A picture is a little relatable to everyone. There is some common theme which comes out after all the individual narrations happen. So when that happens, you can start off by saying, as most of us have perceived so and so, we can choose this theme, and that thing or theme you're talking about should be the majority, not your own. Because since most of them have already agreed upon something which they have perceived, you can't push your argument there. Because PPDT is something unique to everyone. You may think that your perception is good according to you, but it is as solid as yours in their mind. Their perception is as good as yours in their mind. So you can't convince people in these kind of tests. In GD, yes, or in GPE, yes, because there it is very clear. You can have some logic in it. In PPDT, by nature, there is no logic in your narration or your discussion. It is all your imagination. So there's nothing like you can argue and you can convince. You should go with the group. You should come to a common conclusion as early as possible. By, of course, giving your logical points and helping the group. Pushing your own
Yes,
agenda in any of the group activities is a sin.
yes sir. एंड सर सेकंड क्वेश्चन इज सर जैसे कि आपने बोला कि रोल मॉडल और जैसे कि सर रोल मॉडल या इंस्पिरेशन या एक क्वेश्चन होता है कि आपको एडमायर कौन करता है, तो ये तीनों क्वेश्चन में अलग अलग पर्सनालिटी के बारे में बताना है कि सेम चीज बताना है सर
It depends on you. Like
इंटरव्यू के
if
लिए
you
सर?
have some role model who you idealize, and if there is some other person who you admire, but maybe you are not treating that person as a inspiration or a role model, you can have different persons in different
ओके
questions.
सर, डिफरेंट हो सकता है ना सर?
Yes, yes.
ओके सर, थैंक यू
Person
सर.
who you like may not be a person who gives you inspiration. They may be different people.
यस सर, थैंक यू सर.
You're welcome. Next, Gorang.
Sir, I just want to ask regarding hobbies, sir. If we, sir, it's a hobbies questions में कोई भी हॉबी को रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस हमें आना चाहिए एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम सर हॉबी के बारे में क्वेश्चंस आए ना, वी शुड एबल टू आंसर लाइक रीडिंग म्यूजिक. सर अगर अगर हम एवरीडे कोई एक्टिविटी कर रहे हैं बट वी डोंट नो एट इट इज अवर हॉबी, और कैसे हॉबी सर रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस को टैकल करें sir? और हॉबी डिसाइड कैसे
Give
करें?
me an example. Like which hobby are you talking about?
So most of the time I face difficulty in hobbies like मेरी रीडिंग और म्यूजिक और ऐसा नहीं है सर, लेकिन साइकिलिंग आई कैन टेल सर.
So tell that only, na. Write something as your hobby only when you are actually doing it and you are able to answer questions related to it. You can't say I'm reading books if you have read some textbooks of your academic thing. That is not a hobby. You have done that for some exam. Like let's say you have prepared for CDS or you have written some exams in your graduation 10th 12th. उसके लिए जो तुम पढ़ते हो, that is not hobby. Hobby is
Yes.
something you do for yourself in your free time, which is of your interest. So in that, obviously questions will be asked and you must be able to answer them. You can't just bluff
Yes.
saying these are my hobbies. Your PIQ should not be impressive. I will repeat this for everyone. Your PIQ should be real, natural, and as simple as possible. The more you write in your PIQ, the more impressive you try to make it, the more backlash you'll get because everyone knows the real no personality you are carrying. It will come out, and the PIQ you have written and the performance you are giving, if they are not in sync, then it is treated against you. Write it
Sir,
as possible
we
and
can.
show better. Like the lesser you write in PIQ and the more you show in the 5 days there, that's an advantage. Like expectations come though and performance zyada do. In your PIQ, if you write all the good things, then your expectation is at that level कि ये बंदा इतना achieve कर रहा है तो उतना performance देगा. And if your performance is not up to that mark, then obviously you are not making or giving justice to your potential. So that is not acceptable. A person who is coming from a rural background, who hasn't had any significant hobbies, or who has come from a Hindi medium background, let's say, or anything like that, like the simpler his PIQ is, the expectations are to that level only from the assessors. So if he outperforms his potential and shows that he is a hardworking person or someone who has prepared himself very well, then that's a good thing. So keep your PIQ as simple as possible and show your performance at a higher level than what your PIQ speaks about you.
Sir, if we like to do some things but we don't know much more about it, we can include in interest, sir.
Yes, yes. If you enjoy doing something, if it is an area of your interest, you can include it, and you must be knowing some basic about it at least. If you call it your interest, then you must have obviously gone through it or practiced it in some point of your life. So there will be very basic questions only. No one is cross-checking you and seeing whether you are an expert in that hobby or interest. They are just trying to check whether you have actually done it and how that has shaped your personality. Every hobby, every activity you do, or anything which you have written your PIQ has an impact on your overall personality. That is what they are interested in.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Next, Saurav Singh.
Yes, sir. I have four questions. So
Yes.
first of the question is it is regarding GD. So what to do like if the quality of GD deteriorates? Like usually it won't happen in real SSB, but what if the quality of points is not up to the mark? Like what should we do at that time?
Quality of your own points or the group?
Uh, Own points and group as well. Like if we are not
See, if you
able
do not
to.
have anything much to speak, if you are not aware of the topic, stay attentive for the first few minutes. Listen to the group. You will get ideas from there. You put your own views on it and try to improvise. There will be no topic in this entire world where you cannot speak anything on. And GD topics in SSB are fairly simple. They ask about general topics of national interest or social interest or anything from the current affairs part. So you must be aware. First thing is your knowledge should be good enough for you to speak about that topic. If not, if there is some topic which you have never heard about or do not have quality points on it, stay attentive for the first few minutes. Listen to the group, make points in your mind, and then improvise on whatever they have told, or you put your own opinions on what you think about the topic. It is easy to talk about a topic when there are so many people and no one is controlling your discussion. It is free flow of discussion. So you can talk at any point and give as many points as possible. But make sure you are talking something of help to the group. There should be logical points and adding value to the discussion. You should not speak something for the sake of speaking it.
Okay, sir, got it. And one more question, during one of my SSBs, it is during like individual obstacles. I was doing the Burma Bridge, so the GTO blew the whistle. It was the indication of completion of my the time limit assigned to me. So I was halfway through the Burma Bridge, and the GTO blew the whistle. So, what is looking for at that time? I completed the bridge. Like the next chess number started.
Ajay, mute yourself.
Yes, sir. So the next chess number
Ajay, mute
started the
yourself.
obstacle
Ajay,
course. So
Saurav, see,
yes, sir.
before your individual obstacles start, the GTO would have given instructions saying if you are still in the last obstacle and the time gets over, you can either complete the obstacle or you need to get down at that point. There are obstacles in which you can't get down midway. You need to complete
Yes,
it and then only come down. So it's better to complete it. And in the GTO series, in individual obstacles, the instructions given is like that only. If you are in the middle of some obstacle when the time gets over, complete it and then go. That is the instruction given.
okay, sir.
So there should be no doubt in this. Be attentive.
Okay,
That's
sir.
why when every task is being explained to you, clear instructions are passed. Usually there is no doubt at all. The instructions are so clear and very crisp. So you don't need to have any doubts at all. That's why be attentive during the instructions.
Okay, sir. Sir, and one
Oh,
more last doubt. So during individual interview, so after the interview is concluded, like the interviewing officer asks, like if you have any question. So can we ask them regarding their personal life, like how they been, how long they've been in the service, what were their
no,
experience regarding?
no. How
Okay,
does
okay.
that help you? How does that interest you?
Sir, I get to know about like how their life has been affected due to the background, like army, navy, or air force.
That doesn't help you at all. You can talk that somewhere outside, and that is not the forum to ask about someone's personal life. Although you can
Okay,
ask about service experiences or how anything which can help you. This is not a discussion with your uncle where you can ask anything you feel like. He's
yes,
an interviewing officer and he's usually the rank of a colonel or a brigadier. So give him the due respect he deserves, and you can't ask questions about him or that usually turns off the interviewing officer. Don't be over smart. Do not ask questions which pisses off the assessors.
okay,
Be formal throughout your SSB. Although it is designed to be very informal and very free, you must be aware of the stakes. It is an interview which can make or break your career in the armed forces. So keep that in mind and behave accordingly.
okay, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Sadhana Tiwari, please go ahead.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
Sir, I had a doubt related to IO part. So, like in interview, the interview officer often asks us a question like, how many competitive exams have you given after 12th or after graduation? So, what is the purpose of asking those questions, sir? Like, and what the results? And if we tell that we were not able to clear it, so what is the purpose regarding that question, sir?
See, this is one thing which most of the aspirants do. You don't need to think about the logic behind any question, any task, or anything which you do in the SSB. It is up to the assessors to brainstorm that, and it is their job. You don't need to do the assessor's job, first thing. Regarding your question, the logic behind asking about your background related to these competitive exams is what all have you done in life till now? Like, how competent have you been in whatever you have targeted? Like, let's say after 12th, you have written engineering and medical entrance exams or some other Olympiads or something during your high school and college. Or after graduation, usually people write government exams or entrance exams for their masters, anything of that sort. Like, it tells the interviewing officer about your motivations, like what all have you tried in life till now. Like, let's say you have been an enthusiastic person who has tried engineering entrances and tried to excel in that field. It talks about your background. Everything you have done in your life so far has some impact on your current personality. That is the logic. So let's say you have tried all the government exams. It shows that you are a person who is looking for a government job, who wants to work for the government, who is attracted by the perks of the government job profile, something like that. It talks about something. So that is the logic behind it, and there is no particular thing which anyone is targeting. They just want to know as much as possible about your personality, your ambitions, your goals, your weaknesses and strengths, everything. Like, they want to completely know what this person is, whether this person can be trained as a military officer. So every question, every task is targeted towards two things only: your overall personality and how that personality is suitable for the armed forces officer profile. That's all.
So one more question I had. So like I have interest in geopolitics, but like I'm learning about geopolitics, what all relations different countries have within them, but I don't know much deep about the geopolitics that is going on. So is it okay to write an interest that I have interest in geopolitics?
Very much, yes. Whatever interests you have, you are not mentioning about the level of achievements you are having, anything. It is just a word which you are writing. "Ki, I'm having interest in geopolitics." So the questions will be according to that only. He will ask you very basic questions, or he'll just ask you like, what do you know about geopolitics, like how you are interested in it, anything of that sort. It should be true. It should be your real interest. That is all. Even if you don't know anything much about it, if you have interest in it genuinely, you can put it down. Like, let's say you haven't done yoga in your life, but you're interested in it. You have watched some videos and you are kind of attracted to it and you want to start pursuing it. That is also your interest. You can write that also. Hobby is different. Hobby is something which you have done for at least a few months till now, which you can call as a hobby. Interest is something which is of a different nature. You can write anything which you haven't pursued also as an interest, if you are genuinely having inclination towards it.
Okay, sir. Answer one last question. Like
Yes.
I've I've cleared 4 times AFCAT and always I've been to 4 AFSB Varanasi. And
Okay.
sir, does that affect my like मेरा जो अभी न्यू अटेम्प्ट होगा, will that be impacted by my previous attempt?
No, every attempt is a fresh one, and no one is interested in how you were during the previous SSBs. The number of attempts you have given, the number of successes or failures you have seen in SSBs is just an indication of how you were. No one is interested in your past. Although your past has an impact on your present to an extent, but that is not what anyone is looking for. At your current level, those 5 days which you are present over there, what kind of personality traits you are showing, and are those qualities desirable for the armed forces officers. So that is all they are interested in. No previous failures has an impact on your current SSB. Every attempt is a fresh one, and you have an equal chance. You are a fresher, repeater, 10 times conference out, 30 times conference out, doesn't matter. Every attempt is a new one, and no one is judging you based on your previous failures.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, Rohit.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So I have a question related to interview. So, like in my previous attempt, the interviewing officer asked me about the physical fitness, sir.
Hmm.
And so he asked me about the last time when you run and how much you run at that time.
Hmm.
And so I mentioned that I have stopped running from last 1 year. And so he asked me question, and I think I got trapped in that thing. So how the physical fitness impacts in the like the interviewing officer put a question regarding it, that how many push-ups you are doing. If I say you right now how much sit-ups you, how many pull-ups. So sir, how this thing impact, what thing he wants to know from ourselves.
Again, the same thing here. Why are you interested in what he is looking for? That is his job. What he wants to know, he'll know.
Yes
Listen,
sir.
listen. I got your
Yes sir.
question. So when he is asking about your physical fitness, you are saying running or push-ups or anything, which usually the question is how physically fit you are, like what are your standards. Like let's say you talk about running, push-ups, sit-ups, everything, and it is clearly seen. Like your personality, your physique can be clearly seen. He's an experienced military man, so he knows by looking at you how many push-ups you can do, your physical appearance. So if it is clearly giving an indication that you are lying, he may cross question you, he may try to rattle you, because liars are not acceptable. So you just have to be truthful, and whatever you are saying, you must be able to prove it. Like let's say you talk about running as your physical activity you are doing, then obviously you must be talking about how much you have run, like what is your timing, if you have run some competitive running, or let's say you are just a casual runner or you jog in the morning, you can answer accordingly. Lying is not acceptable, first thing, and whatever you are doing, you must be able to answer those questions. You got trapped in it, as in you tried to play smart or do some mischief. That is why you got trapped. No one is there to trap you. You are trapping yourself by doing these funny things.
Yes sir, sir, by mistake sir, I said that in one go I have done nearby 44 push-ups, and so that thing
How can
make
you say
my
by mistake? You are either trying to impress him by giving a false statement, or you are not aware of the question, and usually
sir,
it is the first case. You can't
sir
say it by
actually.
mistake. Come on.
Yes. Yes, sir, I got it. And so one more question is that, sir, in the many interviews, sir, the question asked that how this time you prepared for SSB.
Hmm.
So, sir, we can mention, sir, all these things that we are trying to preparing with the groups and WhatsApp group. We are connected in the evening with
Yes, yes.
different.
Everything which you are doing, be it you have taken coaching from some academy, or you are practicing your tests every day, or you are making yourself aware of all the current affairs and activities. Like anyone prepares for SSB similarly. They participate in these group sessions. Like some people take coaching, some people create their own forums. Anything. People have different approaches. Whatever you are doing, which you feel is helping for your SSB, everything is your preparation. So you can talk about all of them.
Okay, sir. And so one last question is that, sir, nowadays the recommendation of girls are more as compared to boys in direct entries. So like we see in NCC entry girls that girls recommendation ratio is higher than boys. So sir, what is the reason behind that thing?
That is not your concern. No one is interested in recommending more girls or conferencing out more boys. Nothing like that. The quality of people coming in and the desired standards. These are the only criteria. In case of girls, the standards in terms of combat leadership is compromised because they are not going into infantry or armored or mechan, these kind of fighting arms as of now. There are some personality attributes which are crucial in combat leadership. As of now, women are taken into administrative roles, managerial roles, for which they are being tested. So the standards are according to that. It is the job requirement. If more girls are clearing the job requirement, then it is good for them. The requirement is different now. Boys are being recruited for a different job role. It is expected of you that you have a certain level of combat readiness. It has a different personality profile required. So that difference comes in, and which is why probably more girls can clear the SSB. And off late, the quality has been like that. Women are more competent than most of the guys. They are coming well prepared, and they deserve to get recommended, which is why they are getting recommended. There is nothing like the system is being favorable to girls or nothing like that. They are better than people who are getting not recommended. There's no gender bias here. Simple.
Okay, sir. Thanks, sir.
Okay. Uh, Krishna Singh,
Good evening, sir.
good evening.
So, how should we describe ourselves in a self-description test?
Are you a fresher?
No, sir.
Then I won't answer this question. Sorry. Go through yourself.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next, Sumit.
So can we include in PPDT armed forces? Means there is an interview taken by some suppose in a picture an interview was taken by some peoples and one cadet is sitting in the middle. So can we say that he is preparing for SSB and he was giving SSB interview?
You may, like, if the people sitting over there are in uniform, then yes. If you can relate to the picture, obviously, if there are some set of people in civil dress and a person is giving his interview common, that picture is never seen in your SSB. Na? Usually, when there is a group of people, it is a conference only where you are facing people in uniform. In that picture, if there are people in uniform, write about SSB. Or there are so many things you can write about. You can say it as a civil service interview, or a corporate interview, or some college placement interview, anything like that. It should be relatable. The perception is important there. If it is clearly not something which is seen in SSB, that picture, then you don't need to put it forcefully ki armed forces ka chal raha hai.
And sir, can we include such more qualities, for example, initiative, courage, confidence in PPDT?
There's nothing like inclusion. Whatever story you write, if it is suitable to the image shown and you have followed all the ground rules, that itself is more than enough. No one, that is the problem, na? You try to include qualities. That is where you, screw up most of the time. No one should include qualities. It will automatically emerge when the character is overcoming challenges and he is trying to achieve some mission. The characters and quality traits of that main hero you have chosen will automatically emerge. You don't need to say with his determination, courage, and honest efforts he achieved so and so. That is bullshit. When you write something of challenging nature, let's say he is clearing his UPSC civil services, everyone knows that it requires hard work, it requires dedicated efforts, all these things. You don't need to mention it. The task you choose should be of challenging nature, and how he tackles it, the action part, and the story theme basically counts. You don't have to include any personality qualities or these kind of adjectives in it to show his qualities. The qualities should be shown through action, not through words.
Okay, sir. That was my doubt, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Anil,
Jain, sir.
Jahin.
Okay, sir. I have a question regarding interview section. So, if assessor asks me about strength and weakness of me, and if my, for example, if my weakness is a discipline, which is an OLU, if I said that only, or does it affect our my interviews?
Even if you don't say self discipline is not your weakness, it will come out in one of the tasks definitely. Your entire life history is being documented in your PIQ, and you are checked on each personality quality of yours comprehensively over and over throughout those 5 days. So you mentioning it or not is not a big impact, because anyway it will be obvious that you are not a disciplined person. So your endeavor should be to improve on that and go as a disciplined person. You should not go there and say I am disciplined, or your weakness should not be lack of self discipline, first thing. Because if you are an armed forces aspirant, you must have already become disciplined in your life. Only then you are eligible to get recommended. If let's say you are not self disciplined and you appear for the SSB, if that question comes, tell me about your weaknesses, you must be able to say, I am not having that level of self discipline as of now, but I am working on it. And these are the things I am doing in order to improve my self discipline. You must be either accepting your weakness and taking actions to improve it, or you should not have that weakness only before you are appearing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Next, Nikhil Patil.
Sir, my question is how to improve my English speaking because sir, I
I have
am
answered
preparing
it.
for NDA too.
Listen, English speaking comes with practice. Very simple. In English communication, there are different stages. Let's say you are a complete beginner who has come from a vernacular background, who has no knowledge of English. Then he should start by reading first, then by listening, then by writing, then finally speaking. These are the stages. Any language you learn this way only. You first, learn how to listen to it, then how to speak, then how to write, and then ultimately your fluency comes after you know how to read, how to listen to that language, you know how to write in that language, then your fluency will come. Although in some languages you don't need to write, you just have to know how to speak. Usually in English, you first improve your vocabulary and grammar by going through the basics, like how you are preparing for your written exams English part. If you are good in that, most of the people are good in written part of English. The problem comes while speaking only. For that you need to practice more and more from your childhood. If you have not taken part in any of oratory activities, like let's say lectures, debates, quiz competitions, anything which involves you speaking in front of people, then usually this weakness is there. You are not a fluent speaker. For that you need to
Yes,
keep
sir.
practicing. You need to
Yes,
come
sir.
out
My
with that.
problem is also speaking for anyone and front of anyone.
So that is the issue, now. You keep practicing it, and it will improve over time. Everyone does the same. No one is a fluent speaker by birth. Everyone faces difficulty in the beginning, and they slowly improve. In the childhood, it is easier because then you are not very self-conscious, and no one is judging you. It is easy for you to do mistakes and learn quickly. But now, since your age has come to a certain level, it is difficult to learn. Like usually, any other things also. Let's say swimming, it is very easy to learn in your childhood. Now, if you want to learn swimming, it is difficult. It is like that for any skill or any core personality trait. If you want to develop, it is usually easier during childhood, which is why your entire history is being asked, like how you have developed over time. Like currently, if you want to improve on your English, it's an easy thing to do. Some other qualities are difficult to improve upon after you reach a certain age, but English speaking is something which you can pick up at 60, 70 also and still master it. So you can start speaking, you can start participating in sessions like these. It will improve.
And sir, I also prepare for SSB. Then how can I prepare for SSB, sir?
Sorry.
सर मैं एसएसबी के लिए भी प्रिपेयर करना चाहता हूँ क्योंकि मैं अभी रिटर्न प्रिपेयर कर रहा हूँ
Uh-huh.
तो
You
एसएसबी
saw
भी
you spoke about SSB only, na? Your English communication speaking and all is for SSB only. Written का तो कोई question ही नहीं था. You are preparing for
हाँ हाँ
written, that's a different part. SSB preparation is nothing but improving your overall personality through your daily routine. Do physical
ओके
activities, participate in group activities, work upon your general awareness. Think about what all weaknesses you have and start working upon them in a systematic manner. That is preparing for SSB. And written exam ko to you know how to do.
ओके सर थैंक यू
You're welcome. Next, Yashika Pathak.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
So my question is that if someone had a past mental trauma, any kind of mental trauma, so does it affect our SSB?
Yes, because although it doesn't have a direct impact, it will come out during your psychological tests, or in some cases during your IO and GTO also. Because in psychology tests, the how do I put this in simple words? Whatever your past experiences you've had, it has an impact on the words you chose and the story theme you chose. It will come out. Like let's say in WATs there are words related to stress, anxiety, something like that. Like let's say anxious or depression or trauma. If these kind of words come, the first thought which comes to your mind is something related to what you have experienced. So you will put similar responses, and it will be assessed ki this person has some past of traumatic nature or anxiety, depression, any of these things. So although it has an impact in that sense, if you are completely recovered and at the current level you are very confident and those experiences you had are not affecting you right now, then those responses will naturally not come. You will be giving very confident and desirable responses at this level. Those things should not be affecting your current personality. If you are still in that trauma, if you have those memories with you, or if they are continuing in your current life, then it will emerge. It will have an impact, and those kind of people do not get recommended.
So do we need to write it on the PYQ form?
In your PIQ, there is no question about your mental history, so why will you mention it? Like, where exactly do you want to write it?
That's what I'm asking for.
So it is not asked, na. If it is not asked, where will you write?
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Nayan Roy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, man.
Sir, I got placed in TCS and immediately I got an SSB after the placement. So I rescheduled my joining and still they have not reissued my joining letter for the TCS digital.
Okay.
Sir, if the IO asks me why are you not working, then
Hmm.
should I give this reason or should I say I am preparing for the defense and I'm not working? That's why.
No, you tell the honest reason. Na? You tell them my joining letter has not yet come. I will join it as soon as I get it, and I'll still try for SSBs and eventually get recommended, hopefully.
And sir, it's been 6 months from that incident that
Then you are not
I
getting placed. Simple. Corporate HRs never give a rejection mail. They only
Sir,
tell you.
I wrote an email then. He said he according to business requirement will reissue your joining letter.
So that will never happen. Don't worry. Corporate companies, especially the IT guys who come as mass recruiters, they usually don't take in people after this job. It comes like let's say there are 700 vacancies, 800 vacancies required. They take in bulk, and they have completed their requirement. So at current business requirement, they don't need you. When the next vacancies come up, they hire fresh usually. They don't take in the previous resumes they got and they don't sort it that way. So your chances are gone. You can assume that. And you
Okay,
can
sir.
say I'm still trying for defense, and you can talk about this experience if required, but it is not relevant. So you can say I'm trying for defense only.
Sir, should I look for a job then?
It's up to you. If you feel that you're not doing anything worthwhile, if you want to contribute to your family through your financial gains, or if you are genuinely interested in some kind of job which will interest you and which will help you in advancing your personality or your career, you can pursue it very happily. And it is desirable also to do something worthwhile in life instead of just being idle. And preparation for SSB is not a reason. Preparation for some written exams is
Yeah.
also mostly not the reason, unless it is UPSC, which requires dedicated and full-time efforts. Any other government exam, including SSBs, though, is the easiest. Can't this not doing a job cannot be a justification for saying I'm preparing for this, or that's not a good enough reason.
Okay, sir.
If you have some other reasons, if you can justify you not being employed, then it is good. Otherwise, if you are not interested at all, if you are preparing only for this and your family is well off and you are exploring, you are enjoying life, even that can be a reason, and that is acceptable.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
That's it. Thank you, sir.
you're welcome. Sid.
Sir, it's regarding a PPT image that I wanted to discuss.
Hmm.
Sir, in that image, there was one farmer who was working in fields with his bulls,
Hmm.
and a man was there in his 20s, basically from a town. So the farmer and the man were discussing something. So what
Okay.
I wrote was that the man the man went to his village on his holidays and went to meet his uncle, and his
Hmm.
uncle seeked his advice regarding the graduation of his children, and as an IT guy he advised to enroll them in BTech and also gave resources so that they can start their journey of coding. So is this much action is sufficient, or do I need to add more?
No, there's nothing like sufficient action or insufficient action. For this picture, it was very neutral and there was no action required. You wrote a simple story which is relatable to you,
Yes, sir.
and you tackled a problem. You came out successful. Good enough. This is a good story
Okay,
for
so
PPDT.
it's accepted. And two more questions, sir. So, in my leisure time, I like to play with my dog. So, can I include that in my interest and hobby?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. And
Then
the third question is also regarding one myth that many people say that whatever number of character you perceive in a PPT picture, you need to involve them in your story. So, to give you an example, I faced a PPT picture in my SSB Kolkata that there was a man going on the road, and there were two vegetable sellers sitting on the road. So I just spotted the three characters, but I didn't included those vegetable sellers in my story. So does it?
understood. Understood. Not necessary. If you are
Okay.
taking one character as the main guy and you are framing your story around him only,
Hmm.
if the background characters can be included in your story, it is good because that shows that you have perceived the picture well and you have included the details in the background. Otherwise,
Okay.
also, if you have written the story around one of the characters, it's
Yes,
acceptable.
sir.
Very much.
Okay. Okay, sir. Sorry, sir. Just one last question.
Yes, yes.
As yes, sir. As to prepare for SSB, sir, I am following a timetable. I am jogging, living an organized life. But as of now, as you said about the job, I am BTech graduate from 2021.
Hmm.
I have given IBPS exam and have cleared prelims,
Hmm.
but I was not able to clear mains as yet. So
Okay.
does it show a bad part?
There's nothing like bad or good part here. Like if you have sincerely tried for some government exams, if you can show you have written these many exams and what level of success you have seen in those exams, it is justification that you have tried for government profiles and you were not interested in corporate jobs, which is why you didn't do them. That is
Yes.
fair enough. But if you
Okay.
have wasted your 2 years and not written any exams, if you have given one or two exams here and there, and even in
Hmm.
that, if you have failed, that shows
Hmm.
something. That shows you are casual, you are not responsible enough. The many
Okay.
judgments can be drawn out of that.
Okay, sir.
So, answer accordingly. If you have invested 2 years in this preparation, then you should have done something significant. You should have cleared, like let's say you said IBPS prelims ka. That's a good
Yes.
enough achievement. So,
Okay.
depending on your background, let's say you're a good performer in your academics, it is
Yes.
expected that in less time you'll clear the government exams also and you'll get placed somewhere, something like that. So, depending on that, you should be able to justify, being idle for these 2 years. That's all.
Okay, sir. And so, what else I can do? I mean, I am living a organized life with timetable, going for a job. What else do I need to do to increase my chances?
Following a daily routine which targets your weaknesses and makes you a competent person for the armed forces officer's profile. Simple. You can go through all the Instagram story highlights of mine. In all the FAQs, similar questions were asked, and I have put up answers to all the questions like how to improve your personality, what should be your daily routine, how to increase your chances through your actions, how to prepare. These kind of questions I have answered already, and it is the same. Any person, any mentor would tell you the same thing.
Yes,
You
yes,
work on these things, and that is what they are looking for. Na? They want
yes,
to place you as an armed forces officer.
hmm.
So according to that, they are looking for some personality traits of you, which will build over time if you do all these activities.
Okay,
So
sir.
do those things.
Thank you,
I
sir.
have seen it already. You can go through them.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Next, Nayan again. Nayan Roy.
Sorry, sir, I forgot to
Okay, okay.
raise my hand.
Done. Tejas,
Okay, Jain sir.
Jai Hind.
Sir, I have four questions. First question is related to lecture. Sir, can I prepare only the relation between India and foreign countries for lecture topic? It is enough or not?
Not enough, definitely. How can you expect ki only that question will come?
Okay, sir. Then next question is, uh, sir can ask me current news on sports which I have written in my PIQ form.
Not necessary. If you are interested in some sport, if you have played it, like let's say I was a cricket player myself and I wrote about it, it is not necessary that I should be following cricket all the time and I should be knowing about the latest happenings. If you are interested in that sport, usually you do follow it by nature. So questions may be asked, you can answer it honestly. I was interested in this sport and I am still very interested. I play it, but I don't follow it on news or I'm not aware of what is happening in the cricket world or whatever game you are interested in. You can say it. It is not necessary that you should follow the current happenings of that sport.
Okay, sir. The next question is that my dream regiment is Rashtriya Rifle. Then, but I don't have much information about that. Then, which type of question assessor can ask me?
Rashtriya Rifles is not anyone's dream battalion because that is not a permanent posting. Like you don't get commissioned in Rashtriya Rifles. It's a deputationist force. You get commissioned into some regiment or some armed service, whatever. You go to Rashtriya Rifles on deputation. It's a 2.5 year posting where you go, you perform your duties, mostly CICT ops, and you come back to your parent arm. So,
Okay, then, sir, which type of question
when
they?
you say it's
Uh,
your dream, you must be knowing this already.
okay, sir, the next question is, I'm not good in academics, so is there any impact on my recommendation or any?
Not much. No one is looking for scholars or academic achievers. I told you about this course mate. He had backlogs in engineering and he took more than the required time, more than 4 years to clear his, and he still got recommended. He is an officer now. So that doesn't matter. Your overall personality and your suitability for the armed forces. I've repeated this over and over. Only that matters. Your academics obviously have some impact on your overall competence. If you are not a person who has been able to clear your college exams only, then obviously in armed forces you have many exams you need to clear after you become an officer. So if you are showing lack of potential to do those, then obviously you're not a desirable candidate. Accordingly, you won't be recommended. Your history may be bad, like you must have failed in exams, you must have done many things, that's all right, but at your current level you should be able to show that I am a improved person and I can do whatever the job requires. Your OAR speaks about your intelligence levels first thing, and all the questions which are asked in the interview, your performance in your psych tests and GTO, everything talks about your current potential, so that matters, not your history.
Okay, sir. Then I'm preparing for NCC direct entry.
Hmm.
So tell me some information about that. There is any competition in your perspective?
Everything is there on the internet. If you want to know about NCC special entry, like what is the procedure to apply, what happens, where they get trained, everything is there on the internet. I don't need to tell that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Jai.
Jai Hind, you are welcome. Next, Samarjit.
Sir, can we, like in a WAT, can we write science sentences like you have mentioned depression? So the first thing came to my mind is depression in freezing point is one of a colligative property. Can we write that kind of sentences in
Yes,
VAT?
anything which comes to mind which is meaningful can be written.
Like I'm from plus two science, so
Yes, you can write.
I can relate to that much in WATs.
Yes, understood. You can
Okay,
write.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next, anyone? I see no hands raised. I assume all doubts are cleared. Anyone? Sudhir Kumar, yes.
So my question is, can we add in hobbies like we read people's mind and solve their problems about some relationship or something, what is going in their life in free time?
Okay, is that really your hobby? Do you do that?
Actually, when I get free, I call my subordinates or some friends who are suffering from something. Like I see the stories in Snapchat and Instagram, then I do always talk to them. Then after that, solve the issues. If I
Then you
think
can
that I
write it.
can.
If you are genuinely doing it and if you can talk about it, then you can include it as your hobby.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next, anyone? Any doubts remaining?
No, sir.
Okay, if all doubts are cleared,
Sir, I have one more.
yes, yes, nine.
Sir, if I say mobile photography and editing is my hobby, sir, is
Mhm.
it good enough hobby or should I include some physical or any educational hobby in it
No, no.
instead?
Anything is a hobby. Yeah. Photography and editing is a very good hobby. You can include it. You maybe ask
Okay.
questions on it. Like if the interviewing officer himself is a photographer, then he may get into some technical details also. So you must
And
be able
sir,
to.
if is workout an hobby, can workout be an hobby?
Yes,
Working out.
yes.
Okay, sir. Just,
You're
thank you.
welcome. Okay, guys, if doubts are cleared, we can get into Bakshwadi mode and talk informal stuff. You can ask about me, you can ask anything else, or whatever out of the box things not related to SSB basically. You can ask that.
Sir, one question I had, sir.
Yes, Sid.
So,
Right.
sir, from where do you get all this energy to work this a lot? I would like to know that. And
It was
in
there
my
before joining the armed forces as well, but now after training, it has increased. Energy comes there. It is there. I'm passionate about this, which is why I'm energetic. The first thing, if you are interested genuinely in doing something, energy automatically comes. So I'm having interest. I'm gaining a lot of knowledge and experience from this. It is fun interacting with all of you and helping you out. It gives me satisfaction, and that gives me energy.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts.
सर
Yeah.
गर्लफ्रेंड बताओ सर अपनी
Sorry,
सर गर्लफ्रेंड स्टोरी
girlfriend story. यार academy में I had before joining academy I proposed to this girl. She was my neighbor, Bangalore में. Uh, I proposed to her. She in the beginning said, "हाँ नहीं friends रहेंगे वही typical girl stuff." And, I had to
ओके
convince her. I had to try to impress her. All that I did, and slowly we
हाँ
started talking. वो bonding बढ़ता गया, and I was already recommended when all this happened. Like before proposing,
ओके
I was recommended. Medical still रही थी, and that was COVID time also. So it was happening, and we couldn't meet mostly because of these lockdown restrictions. We were
ओके
mostly talking on calls only. So धीरे धीरे bonding happened, and I had to go to academy. The bad thing was we didn't meet even once, like physically, before me going to the academy. So it was completely long distance. From the
ओके
background, it was full long distance. Although we knew each other, we had seen each other directly, but we had never spoken face to face. बस पता था कि हाँ एक बंदा है ऐसे he is my neighbor and मुझे भी ऐसे ही पता था. But I had this crush on her from the childhood, so ऐसे I took it
From the
on.
childhood, sir.
हाँ,
सर
he was
सर
neighbor
रिकमेंड
from
ये तो कुछ वो
रिकमेंड होने के बाद क्रश हाँ बोल देती है क्या सर
पता
तो
नहीं.
बच
She
बच
didn't immediately.
मतलब
She though didn't after my recommendation also. Like she
ओके
accepted me after I was in academy 6 months के बाद. In my second term, she accepted. So she gave me a big chase. What happened
ओके
and I was full, pagal in Ashki and all. My love letters for her went viral in academy and on social media also. Some people might have read it also without knowing it was me who wrote it. So there's this Instagram page ना Indian Army Wives ये सब उसमें मेरे letters सारे viral हुए थे. So I it happened that way and sadly it ended very badly. Regarding this thing, what Yashika asked, whether trauma and all has an impact. That happened to me after joining the forces. Like during training, I was, not so mentally good because of this breakup only. I was completely invested in her emotionally and, with respect to time also. रात भर phone.
सर मतलब इवेंचुअली सर आपका भी कट गया
Yes, yes, सबको कर दिया.
सबका करता है सर हमारा भी
ओके
कर
सही है सर
It broke me. It broke me very badly. I was in depression. I had to take therapy. All that happened. I came back very soon, luckily, and it's going on good now. But it was a bad experience. शुरू में बहुत अच्छा था when things were going on well. We were flirting, we were talking. पूरी रात रात भर बात करता था. Around 11 12 तक we used to get trained, seniors का रगड़ा and all. As soon as I came back, I used to give her a call, earphones लगा के, like change करते करते, नहाते हुए, washroom में बैठते हुए, like anything which I'm doing with that call on and talking to her. तो ऐसे चलता था and उसके लिए I had to sacrifice my sleep. क्लासरूम में सोते ही थे everyone, so even I was sleeping. वो ऐसे ही चलता रहा and in the end it didn't stick on because it was mostly long distance only. We hadn't met at all and हमारा बैच तो इतना अनलकी था. We didn't get term break, we didn't get mid-term break, nothing. 1.5 years we were stuck inside academy with no connection to the outside world. So ऐसे this relationship could not sustain and it ended in a bad manner. Like she was not communicating things well and some other personal things happened which I can't share right now, but it was a very sad experience when it ended. But it taught me a lot of lessons. I learned ki, no level of emotional investment in someone can guarantee, love back from them. It's always better to invest on yourself because you are the only person who will stay with you until you die. Your parents, friends, or girlfriend, your children, no one will stay with you for the rest of your life. Only yourself, like your body, will stay with you until you die. So take care of your body, of your mind, of your heart, and होता है. Like girlfriend का तो यही है. This was the first and till now last relationship I've had. Later on, I dated some girls, but nothing turned into a full-time relationship. It was all friendship types only.
सही है सर, सही है.
Sir,
So
it's
academy
so good to see a
was
Bangalorean sir. Kannada ಬರುತ್ತಾ?
ಕನ್ನಡ ಹಾ ಸಕ್ಕತ್ತಾಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಲೋಕಲ್ ಹುಡುಗ ನಾವು.
Super sir.
I know Telugu also. Any Teluguites here? Okay. Tamil கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம் தெரியும். Not fully.
Sir, I have asked some question in comment section.
Okay. Let me open the chat box. Wait.
Okay.
he's asking any वो मतलब कि कोई दुख भरी दास्तां एकेडमी की, मतलब कि पनिशमेंट वगैरह.
Punishment का experience तो खूब है यार. I was the person who got maximum punishments in my course. I was screwed up, down, and center like anything because I told you I was doing all this mischief. My phone रखता था. I was into relationship and kind of distracted from training. And उसकी वजह से I had to take a lot of punishments. मेरा phone भी पकड़ा गया था 2 बार वो भी. तो 14 restrictions for each, so 28 restrictions उसी में मिला था. I was on punishments throughout my second and third term, non-stop. Every day, afternoon and night, punishments report में जाओ, भागो, वहाँ पे कुछ और punishments लेके आओ, ऐसे ही. Like, I was, I can be very proud that I have got complete training. मतलब एक level का almost probation हो गया वहाँ पे, इतना रगड़ा ले लेके.
So the most
सही है
difficult
सर.
one you remember till now, like
Many punishment, like every punishment is difficult only, but
yes,
the Missouri nights experiences were terrible. December के end में in Dehradun the temperatures fall down to 0, sometimes -1. तो उस temperatures में my company was known for रगड़ा, Kohima. So our seniors were very interested in taking our happiness. So one day एक Missouri night session हुआ था which I can never forget. We were all stripped off and made to take ice cold bath, like standing outside. वो temperature में when you strip off only your skin starts reacting. You can't stand. Shivering शुरू हो जाती है. In that, if you take a cold water head, ये ice bucket challenge होती है ना, ऐसे we took
yes sir,
and
yes sir.
after that we had to roll on tiles. वो तो मतलब it's a different level physical and mental fuck. I cannot imagine doing it. Like, have you ever tried to walk without slippers in on these marbles या tiles जो भी बोलते हो,
Yes sir, yes sir, I have.
especially when you are wet? एंड रोलिंग इज नॉट वो स्ट्रेट रोलिंग नहीं, साइड रोलिंग, पूरा लेट के वो टेम्पल में करते हो ना,
क्रीम रोल टाइप,
व्हाट इज इट?
क्रीम रोल सर, फेमस
नहीं नहीं,
फ्रंट रोल
क्रीम रोल नहीं,
एंड
क्रीम रोल इज डिफरेंट, लाइक front roll, back roll combined, that is different. Side roll is where you sleep completely and
like sir,
cylinder की तरह.
like snake.
रोलिंग सर लाइक है ना?
अरे
Sir,
प्रॉपर
like
ये यार, हाउ योर सिलेंडर गोस, नीचे पूरा लेटा के इफ यू रोल द सिलेंडर कैसे जाती है,
हाँ
yes sir.
हाँ, लाइक दैट,
actually
लाइक
you
दैट.
are the cylinder there. So
Like in
ऐसे we were
Nagari,
made to
we
roll,
have seen
like
that.
after getting stripped off and getting wet on these tiles in 1 degree 0 degrees Celsius temperature, midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock में. And that was
सो
like
जब मतलब कि
हाँ हाँ पूछो.
Sir, and sir, what about your Russian obstacle training? Did you face any specific difficulty in that?
No, I was good in ROT. I completed in excellent and nothing difficult. थोड़ा बहुत डर लगता था शुरू में. In first time we are not used to them, so in this big obstacles like IML ladder, you must have seen in this Lakshya movie title song, na? He does all
Yes,
these
sir.
obstacles.
Yes, sir.
वो-
Also heard about it some podcast also.
yes, they are difficult in the beginning, but everyone learns it and everyone passes. And I was good physically, so I could complete it in excellent.
Okay.
और Saurav, is it still on record?
सर मसल स्ट्रेंथ
Yes.
कितना इम्पोर्टेंट होगा
Should I stop?
ट्रेनिंग के टाइम पे?
No, let it go.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
सर मसल स्ट्रेंथ अगर हमारा काफी ज्यादा है तो ट्रेनिंग में हेल्प है कि दिक्कत ही होगा?
मसल स्ट्रेंथ ज्यादा है तो दिक्कत क्यों होगा? इट्स अ गुड थिंग ना.
मसल
सर
स्ट्रेंथ से इसका मतलब है सर, मतलब कि वो जिम जिम टाइप है ना, आई
हाँ, if
थिंक.
you're a bodybuilder, if you're bulky, पूरा mass है, then it will be difficult for you to run ना.
सर आई
And in
एग्री.
the army, you require people who are agile, who are more into running. Upper body strength भी चाहिए होता है, but more important is you being very agile and active, like quick. थोड़ा वो बॉडी बिल्डर्स या ऐसे बल्की पर्सनालिटीज, यू कैन बिकम दैट आफ्टर बिकमिंग अ कमांडो. उसमें देयर इज अ डिफरेंट डाइट एंड डिफरेंट जॉब रिक्वायरमेंट. उसमें दे रन आल्सो एंड दे डू फिजिकल, पूरा बल्किंग आल्सो. बट फॉर अ
सर
कैडेट
आई
और
एम
फॉर,
ऑल्सो डूइंग लाइक दैट ओनली.
सॉरी,
Like I run 10 kilometers on Sundays and
ओके,
all the weekdays I train heavy weights.
इट्स
And
फाइन
I
यार,
don't have that diet to bulk up.
not required.
It means
Like
fit
if you
type
are
उसके
aspiring to
लिए.
be in the armed forces, then it is better to maintain a lean physique only. Bulking up will
Yes, sir.
be a disadvantage to you during entry in your SSB, I mean, as well as during your training.
Okay, sir.
So I'm currently doing calisthenics for MMA, so it will helpful for me.
Sorry, Yashika, be a little loud.
So I'm doing currently calisthenics for MMA, so it will be helpful for me.
Yes, calisthenics and MMS are very good exercises. Calisthenics, especially in IMA or in any other academy, like for you, it will be OTA, FA, or INA, whatever you are choosing. It is only calisthenics. No one is training you with weights. It is all your body weight with which you are training. So, military training is mostly calisthenics only. And MMA, yes, it will improve your fighting attitude, your physical. And in MMA, you train more than in the gym. You sweat more, you become more active. In fact, even I did these things during my preparation. इससे पहले, I was overweight. I was around 22 kgs overweight, so I had to reduce a lot before going for my SSBs. I was in an intense workout routine. Around 3 months,
Can you
I
share your
took up
routine, sir?
strict diet. Sorry?
So can you share your routine?
Yeah, only the physical part if you want to know. I took personal training in a gym. I used to maintain a proper diet which was given by my trainer. And every day I used to work out for 3.5 hours, 1.5 in the morning and 2 hours in the evening. Like proper running around 20 25 kilometers I used to run. But obviously not at length. 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers ऐसे कर करके intervals में. And heavy, like academy जितना routine मैंने शुरू में ही किया था. But not to that level because here it is free. You are doing at your own will, and when you want to take a rest, you can. Academy में ऐसा नहीं है, तुम्हें डंडा देके भगाते हैं. So when you're doing it with your own interest, it is pleasure. In academy, there is a very not so desirable thing which happens. The things which you are actually enjoying, like I used to enjoy cycling, I used to enjoy running, that becomes a fucking academy because वो forcefully करवा रहा है. You are not willingly doing it, which is why it feels like a mental strain.
संडेज को भी सर फिजिकल एक्टिविटीज होती हैं एकेडमी में?
Sorry?
मतलब कि आर देयर एक्टिविटीज, फिजिकल एक्टिविटीज ऑन संडेज आल्सो?
There is no Sunday, Saturday, nothing like that. Officially, although Sunday is not a working day, seniors are there, na? And Sunday is the time when most of the training happens because that is when seniors and juniors are together. They are also free, you are also free, so आ जाओ थोड़ा training करते हैं, so that's how it happens. In other,
मतलब सीनियर्स अपनी भड़ास निकालते हैं जो उनके ऊपर निकली है.
हाँ. Not like that actually. No one is passing on their frustration to their juniors. They are training you only, depending on what activities are coming.
जितना रगड़ा उतना तगड़ा.
Yes.
ना जितना रगड़ा उतना तगड़ा.
Yes, yes.
Sir, how is your life different? How is your life differ before defense and after defense?
It's a complete transformation here. I'm from a civil background, so I didn't know the ABCs of Forge. It was a cultural shock for me as soon as I entered academy, and after entering the unit also, it's a different life. It's a very good experience for me because it's a first time thing, na? If someone is from a defense background or if from NCC or anything of that sort, like he has seen something of defense nature, then it's not that big an experience for him. But for me, it is like a person who had stayed all his while on a beach is suddenly taken to the mountains and he is made to experience that beauty. So that complete paradigm shift. That I'm enjoying.
Sir, tell us the story about your first posting.
Sir, your room tour, sir, please, sir.
Sorry?
Room tour.
Your
रूम टूर ना क्या है यहाँ पे there's nothing to tour.
Sir, tell us about your first posting, sir. मतलब कि how you received and how are you, मतलब कि जो पहले upper rank officers जो मतलब देते हैं.
It had happened.
Tell us about that.
I have told this in the previous session also. Let me take some new questions. This I'll answer again some other time. This is a long story. I had told this already. It is on record.
मतलब वो कहाँ देख सकते हैं सर? YouTube पे पोस्टेड है या फिर कहीं?
नहीं, I haven't uploaded it. I'll share on the group. वो YouTube में upload करने वाला लायक नहीं है because I have used a lot of bad words and पूरा.
अरे सर चलेगा.
So can you send me personally, sir, that?
I should search. कहीं पड़ा होगा laptop में. I'll share it if I find it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Someone has asked why I didn't opt for the Navy because I was not eligible. Navy के लिए BTech चाहिए होता है and I'm a BSc guy, so naturally didn't opt for Navy.
Sir, one last question.
In the Air Force only. Army में भी इतना interest नहीं था. Mostly Air Force I gave 6 attempts in SSB. All 6 were for the IAF only. No Army, no Navy. It happened. I was destined to don the olive greens, not the blues. So हो गया.
Sir, do you support the guys? मतलब guys को SSC के लिए opt करना चाहिए or they should go for corporate?
Yes, sir, very much. SSC is better than PC actually in many ways. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Next. Anyone? Anything?
Sir, face reveal.
Face reveal. Okay. Saurav, let's
Yes, sir.
stop the recording now.
Okay, sir.